Hello, everybody.
Good evening, good night, and how you guys doing?
Well, we have a special program for you guys today. We actually have in the building at their house right now, the original Mr. and Mrs. Carvil. They are in the building. So today we're actually going to talk about their marriage and how they've lasted for so long and how they just pretty much just manage their children and how they manage their marriage life and things like that over 30 something years.
Plus.
But 30 something plus years. We're trying to get there. We've only been married for like 15
Not
years.
even half.
Not even half that. Not even half that. But they are in the building. I'm super excited to actually bring them on and have them to talk about things that we don't usually get an opportunity to hear other people actually talk about, and they actually have the experience to be able to even speak into our lives. And it is such an honor and a pleasure to have them on today. So I'm going to bring them
But
in.
before you do that,
Excuse me.
bypass me.
Oh, okay. You mean everything to me.
But at the same time, knowing him for all them years, he had a high demand in career, very high demand career that took him from a point where he had to learn how to be a father and a husband at the same time. So the main question is for so many people that have been married for all these years, how were they able to juggle a high demanding career and a marriage at the same time?
Okay. Well, I didn't want to skip over you. He wanted to say all that. I wanted to make sure you were able to say it. So
now I want my voice to be heard too.
Oh yeah, your voice needs to be heard.
No,
I'm not skipping you.
No, you're not skipping. I don't want my voice to be heard before the comment.
Because the other Carvel that comes on, his voice is just as deep. So y'all better listen and listen with your good ears, not with your bad ears. Listen with your good ear, because his voice is deep. It's like thunder. So without further ado, let me add them on. Hey y'all.
Hello. Good evening. How are you?
We're good. The funny thing is that they're actually sitting right across from us. But the way that we have everything positioned is so that you guys can see them a lot better and see us as well. Until we figure out this whole camera thing, this is what you get. But it's still good quality, and I am super just elated to just have them here. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's been a good minute waiting to be invited, and of course, I've tuned in from day one, and I want to commend the both of you for an excellent job in engaging, younger marriage as well as those of us who have been there over 38 plus years into the relationship.
Oh, 38 years.
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was 35. He said 30. Whoa.
No, 39 and 22.
Wow. So how did y'all do it? How did you do it? All those years, how did you do it?
Communication.
Yes.
Communication and more communication. But the one thing that it helps us is we have an understanding that we understand our role in the relationship. And I can recall from very young age when we used to stay a house away from each other. Only one house separated us off 39th Street. And the good thing was that, back then I had told her that, she was going to be my wife. and
Y'all have a tendency of doing that because he did the same thing. He said, you're going to be my wife. I'm like, wait a minute. So it's a Carvel thing, right?
Did you laugh?
I laughed. I thought it was hilarious. But it turned out.
Me too. But my laughter was because we were so young.
Oh.
So we were high school sweethearts.
Oh.
Well, not even high school. We met at 10 and 12.
Oh, wow. So y'all grew up.
We grew up
together.
We shared, yes. We've had a lot of experiences. I tease him sometimes. I tell him, I say, I don't have a memory that you're not in. Because we did everything. We rode bikes together. We skated together. We played basketball together. We just watched each other grow. And even after they moved, he would come back and visit still. He would ride his bike to find me. So like, okay.
Oh, wow. So how did you just know? How did you know
well,
she was going to be your forever?
It's because I could say, which probably my nephew did not know, that his dad, I look up to his dad, and for a lot of stuff that I've seen in his marriage, I wanted it. I say, the fact that he had his three boys, and he had a lovely wife, that adores him. I mean, she really adores him. And she was. You could say that my upbringing came from those two, because not only my brother leadership, but his wife, Dolores was there.
Yeah.
She did for me what a mother should have done.
Oh.
Because she was there. So I learned from that, and I built on that. And I say, that I want to be not just the man that my brother is, I want to be better than him.
Oh.
See, my focus always to not just learn from somebody, learn from them and add to it, make it great. Like I tell my 3 children, I don't want you to be like your mom and I. I want all 3 of you to be better than us, greater than us. If we're great, I want you to be greater.
Absolutely.
Than us.
Absolutely.
And to do that, man, you cannot be selfish in sharing.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that helps. And when I told her that she was gonna be my wife and that she wouldn't have to work if she didn't want to, and I know everybody laughed and ha ha ha, talking about, and I can't even recall Dolores, when she saw how serious she was getting, she said, I don't know what that little girl did to you. So I said to say it takes both of us.
Yeah.
It was me initiating it and her making sure that I locked in. So that was the concept from the very beginning. In other words, the foundation was established the right way. And then we just simply keep building on it.
What was it? I have like, I think 2 questions, and I know you have some questions.
Go ahead.
But my question is what was it that you saw in him that you knew that secured you to say, this is going to be my husband? I know that he's for me. What was it?
Actually, it was just being observant, because I feel like you can talk and say a lot of things, but I wanted to see what's your actions. So I was just watching as I was waiting. I was seeing, okay, you told me you want to be a police officer and that you want to marry me. But if I had not seen him making any efforts or going toward being a police officer, then I don't think I would have been as open to what he was telling me. It was the fact that he was showing me as well as telling me. And that really resonated with me. That, wow, this guy is not kidding. He really, at 14, he was already doing Police Explorer. He was already competing with guns to with the Police Explorers to advance as a future police officer. So I was sitting back, I was like, okay, he is going toward his goal. He is keeping, his word as to what he was saying, that he wanted to be a police officer and he wanted to marry me.
Wow. I think they are definitely some showers. When they say they want to marry, they keep their promises and they stick through. So it looks like I have something wonderful to look forward to.
Yes,
and I'm super excited
about
that.
You have a gold mine in your hand.
I sure do. That's what I've been trying to tell them.
Hey.
But the thing is I would say is how I would ask, how were you able to juggle having a high demand career and then at the same time having a high demand home at the same time?
How did you juggle them? So the thing is also like he's asking you, we didn't tell everybody all the jobs or the many hats that you actually had.
Yes,
and all the hats. If you guys could come in here, like he really has many different hats. That it's weird. I'm telling you, it's a lot of hats for real. But you juggled many hats, and you were also a stay-at-home mom. And we were talking about that on the way coming in. And I thought it was an amazing question because you both have surpassed so many different things. And when I see you both, it is actually wonderful to see because you guys still love each other. I can see the love. Like I can see when she's smiling, and, hold your hand or something or grab you or something, and you are receptive to it. And not often do you see that with people that have been married 30 something years. They're usually like,
You got his room.
you got his room, you got her room, and that's it. But I've had private conversations with her, and she's thoroughly just happy with you. And I'm like, wow, I want that. I want to still be able to be with somebody for years and years and years, him for years and years and years, and still be,
you ain't somebody. Go ahead, I'll make that plan.
But his question was, how were you able to juggle all of that?
Well, the one key component that helps was my mother. She helped all of us. She only had one daughter and 7 boys.
Oh God!
And her thing was, never forget sight that the woman runs the house and the man provides. So you are the provider. Let's make sure that you anything that is needed, make sure that it's there. And the outside belongs to you, the inside belongs to her. Yeah. So that concept, when I get that from my mom, I of course let her know the Haitian way of doing stuff there. You run the house. So at any given time, a Haitian person or a Caribbean person come to the house is dirty, I'm not getting the blame. You are getting the blame, because whatever you need to make the house look good, you need to let me know and I'll make it happen. So raising up the kids, doing what you got to do, I have to provide everything that you need. So my job is the provider. So I went and I take care of the job, provide. And whenever I come in the house, I don't bring home work with me. I leave work at work. And that's why if people come and say, why you have that pool table right in the front? That pool table is my release place. In other words, it's like I leave all my cares, all my issues at that pool table. If I have a problem that happened at work, before I step through that door right here, I would stay outside and I would shoot pool by myself. And I would tell them, don't come and join me. Don't come and join me with no issues. If you're going to come, be quiet, just shoot pool with me. And don't say nothing. Just shoot pool. Because I need to completely release work. Yeah. And that's why even our second born child, she didn't understand that until she became a police officer herself. Because you give me a wrong perception of police work. No, I didn't. I just didn't bring it home with me. And when your mom and I have conversation about my job, I didn't tell her all that happened at the police station on purpose, because if I tell her all that happens, and I never travel, I never go to no events without my wife. So when we go to events, if she knew that this person didn't like me, didn't care for me, then she will feel a certain way toward them.
Yeah.
So by me not telling her, and we go to events, people, hey, how you doing? Yeah. So it's like inside me, I say, only she knew. Because she's a friendly person. She loves, and because of her relationship, the way she is, she even helped some people that was her haters starting to see me differently. That's why I say it's a team concept. Because she's that type of person, she cannot go nowhere and not make friends. Not
that's how you have to be. You guys love us that way. But to help some of the women, and not to cut you off, but to understand, what do you mean by, because I'm not taking offense to it, because I understand what you're saying, but there's some women that could be on here, and you guys can ask some questions. If you want to ask them some questions, we'll put the questions up on the monitor here so that you guys can ask questions. You can start posting your questions now. But for some of the women who are trying to get married or who are in a marriage now, they don't understand that their position or their place. And so I have to be very careful with how we use, those words, because they're thinking, oh, well, I'm a woman, I can do this and I can do that. But that's not always the case. I realized, like for me, and I guess this is an example that I can give, I was always able to do things on my own. I was always able to go out and do whatever it was that I needed. I could go make my own money. I could make my own things. But when we got married and certain things started to hit, and I was getting hit with those manly things, I was like, whoa, I don't like these blows. let me shift
Right.
and change my position and be the woman that he needs me to be, because there's times that he's going to be in the front and I'm going to be in the back, and we're going to do like this often, but there's a time and a place for those things. And sometimes when you say those things, you know, where her place is in the home, what does that actually mean to you guys?
Well, first of all, I wanted to say that even with him saying the thing of being a stay-at-home mom, in the beginning I wasn't. I went to school after we got married. I became a dental assistant. I worked, but it was the fact, and I went back to school, became a cardiovascular technologist, and worked. So I did work. I was not always a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
But it always came back to the conversation we had of the fact that we wanted our kids to have their mom home, especially when they got to high school. We agreed that, okay, if you're gonna work, even though, you know, he never wanted me to, but I did work. So we decided, okay, middle school, by the time you get ready to go to high school, that's it. I wherever I am, I will leave that job because I need to be home. I had 2 girls and a boy, and I did not want to give space. I really wanted to just do what my mom had done for me. I was telling my daughter today, I haven't caught the bus since 9th grade. I would be jacked up
trying to catch a bus.
I would be in a mess. But you know, again, I feel the importance to say the communication, and also I would be remiss if I said that we didn't put God first. And say, okay, God, what would you have us to do? Even before the kids came, we was like, what are we gonna do when kids come? And we went back to the scripture that says to raise a child in the ways and admonition of the Lord.
Absolutely.
And I think all of the topics that you all have covered have really played a big part into what we've been doing all the while, because you got to be submissive. You got to have communication. You know, and
you've been watching. Look at you, been watching.
It has my attention.
I'm excited.
I love this type of thing where you talk to other married couples and even those in waiting.
Yeah, absolutely. So and there's someone here that are in waiting.
You know, expectation. Because you know, you got to have expectation.
Yes,
and the last thing I'll say about the kids was, I took it seriously. I knew that his job was demanding. And I knew that, okay, his job is going to cause for him to be very serious. So I have to take my being home serious. So everything that they needed for home, I had to make sure that I was on point, that I did that. I went home, you know, twiddling my thumbs and
just lollygagging.
You know, yes. So
ladies, understand that there was an agreement. And I think that because they're Carvils, they were very easy and smooth talking us into being stay-at-home moms. Because Lord knows I was working too. I was trying to keep a job. This Negro said, "Hey, you want to be a stay-at-home mom? I'll take care of you." Guess what I said? I said, "I don't know." And he said, "Well, you know, the kids need you."
Well.
I don't know how he got me to do for 10 years. I stayed home. And then he said, "I'm gonna put you in school." They are some smooth talkers. But he also has the same type of high demanding job. For me, I didn't understand the concept of being a stay-at-home mom because I'm a new age. You know, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do it, but I had to learn. And still with me having my private practice, I'm understanding more now that it is very imperative that as a mother that I nurture my children and that I'm there for them in the way that they kind of need me. I see that they need me and that he needs me as well. So when he comes home, now this is for me, I can't speak for everybody else, that the house is clean. Today was my cleaning day. I don't want him to ever have to come home to a nasty house. Reason being is because he takes care of me. He takes care of our children. He provides the things that we need. So when we talk about our place, I'm better at cleaning. He's really good with cooking. So guess who's going to have the kitchen cleaned? We're going to keep those things clean. I'm going to teach these girls how to get this stuff in here, get this stuff clean, teaching my son as well. Hey, your dad is coming home. He's doing these things. He's going out. He's working triples and doubles. to make sure that we have. So it is only our reasonable service to make sure that we take care of him. And how do we take care of him? By making sure he don't have to come home to a nasty house. You understand?
Relax.
You come in, you relax. I do what I'm gonna do as a wife. I make him even extra relaxed. I don't know about you ladies, but y'all need to get on your job. Look, he coughing over there. You gotta do what you gotta do to take care of your man. You say you want a good man, and you know, sometimes women, I know they ask, how did you get him? I really did. For me, I didn't want him. He just kind of came, and then I knew through God and asking God, how do I take care of this man? How do I care for him the way he's caring for me? And then it just worked.
Well, I didn't do anything because the Bible says a man that finds
come through so now.
I wasn't
looking. I wasn't looking. You wasn't looking either.
I tell the young people, the young ladies today, what you looking for?
What you looking for? Stop looking.
Let them find you.
So for all them ladies out there that looking, stop looking.
Stop looking.
And you know, the one thing that helps, and I want to make sure I say that, if for your fellas, if you happen to have a woman that's independent, that love to make her own money, you have, before you can encourage her to leave her job, you got to be able to provide the stuff that she normally will buy with her money. So one thing that I did was that I love for my wife to look good. So I make sure that she have her money to get her nails done, her toes done, her hair done, and also for her to continue with her own bank account. Home bank account. Yeah. Yes, we've been married for 38 years. Yeah. She have her bank account. We have our bank account. And the key thing, she have her bank account. We have our bank account. And whatever money that she have, but after she don't work. Well, in that case, fellas, you got to understand that you got to give her a budget. You have to not, you know.
I don't like budgets. I don't like the budgets.
You have to put on the payroll. So which means that every month you give her, I don't want to get guys in trouble, but every month you give her a minimum of $400 a month that goes into her account. But when she wants to spend, she can always spend our money. But give her own money to put in her account.
I like how y'all Carvil men think. Well, I tell you, look, that's it. That's all we got. Ain't no more Carvils available. That's it. They all married. I don't know what to tell y'all, but we ain't got no more. My son, he's too young. Ain't no more. I think my son gonna be a little bit like me. He taking care of nobody. But I find this very interesting. The more I come around you guys, I learn so much more about you. Even with what you're saying right now, I swear it seems like a mirror image because he does the exact same things. And I'm just like, where did you get this from? But it seems like it's in the DNA.
Yes, it is.
It seems like it's in the DNA. I have really, why you keep moving this stuff?
I'm trying to get you good.
I'm telling you, he's just like, it seems like a mirror image, and I'm so happy that that this is just it's just so beautiful.
Yeah, because it goes back to Elliot's grandfather. His thing was provider for the family. I'm not gonna go his extra, but I just want to say that
he provides.
He provided. If you gonna provide, you better be able to take care of it. You gotta know how to say. There you go.
He had the African format where you gotta be able to provide for your families. If it's more, and that's one thing.
The village.
And that's why I say in life you have to learn to take the good qualities. Yes, I'm saying because when it's the DNA, yes, it is in our DNA to do bad. It is in our DNA to not be focused on one, but you have to find your way.
It's a choice.
It's a choice. It's a choice that each one of us have to learn to make. And the thing that helps me is I'm selfish. I'm very jealous. I don't like sharing. So
neither.
I mean,
what's mine is mine.
Since I don't like
We.
Yes, it sounds like Sharon. I figure, let me say my lane.
Yeah,
And I thank God that because all these years people say, but how do you still make it? And I too, when I was getting ready to retire after 30 years of leaving the house at 7 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes come back home at 10 o'clock at night. You hear me? Or later because of my assignment. Wow, that means you didn't have to tell you didn't see the kids. No, I didn't see my kids out that much.
Yeah.
I go when I'm leaving. The one thing that helps me was I say, let me drop them off to school.
Yeah.
Mornings, right, because school starts 7:15 for high school.
Yeah.
I said, let me drop them off, and then from there go straight to work.
Yeah.
So that way, at least I know for sure that they get situated in school.
Yeah.
And then it's on her to take care of everything else. So again, when you look at our 3 children, say how they sold this and that, the credit's not mine. I'm just a provider. The hardworking person that make it happen is the wife. And people gotta understand that being a homemaker or housewife, whatever terminology, it's a full-time job.
Please say that again.
It is.
Because they think we don't do nothing. It is a full-time job.
Us, man, we have the luxury, the break to socialize with other people, talk with other people, all that stuff.
Oh, you see that? You heard him what he say?
Well,
I told you you go socialize.
Right there.
I told you be socializing.
You talking about 2 different types of
you socialize.
No. You socialize with the community. I socialize with con artists. Different story. You can't have conversation with con artists now. They're calling to draw.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, look, I'm gonna go. Let's go to this question. Genevieve Harris asked a question, and we're gonna go back, but then we're gonna come back forward to this. But she says, what do you say about the fact that young men are not being trained to search for wives anymore? Now that's a good question.
It is a good question.
Wow.
That's a good question. So who want to take that? Who want to take it first?
Well,
the elders go first.
Well,
that's right. Go ahead.
Well, I often say, even from the pulpit when I'm preaching, that sometimes I feel like I've dropped the ball with my kids. I'll overdo for them, and by doing too much for them, you deprive them of necessities, stuff that will help them to want to mold and find their own way, and help them to identify that if you find a penny, you don't walk past a penny, you go back and grab that penny, because a penny add to 99 cents will give you $1. And but if the home that don't have a male figure present, those are the kids or young men that are neglected the most, because it's not a woman's job to raise a man. It's a woman's job to raise a young lady to become a woman. It's a man's job to raise a young boy to become a man. But when you don't have that in the household, correct, that's where the problem lies. And if you don't have that, and sad to say, some women are crippling or handicapping a man from fulfilling their rightful responsibility as a man. Instead of you let the man find you and let the man provide for you, you go to the restaurant, you go to places, and you buy your own meal.
You pump the gas.
You pump the gas. You're doing this. No, I taught my 2 daughters and other women, that's why I say, sit your butt in the car, let the man open the door for you.
Yeah.
I don't care how long it takes. You could be in a hurry.
Yeah.
Let them come open that door for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let them open the door, get you inside, and close the door back. And what that does is it helps you to understand that it's not just about the bedroom that most guys focus on.
It's right.
It's about you doing when you're not in the bedroom. Because if you're not doing when you're not in the bedroom, then when it's time for you to go in the bedroom, you're going to have a headache on you.
Absolutely. We love to have headaches.
I mean, the thing is what a lot of these new generations missing is the main root of life. They used to a microwave. You put it in, you take it out.
Right. Quick stuff.
And the problem is there's no nutrient inside of it. There's nothing going on. And a lot of young men I speak to, they don't have no identification of who they are.
They are.
So how can you take a young man with no identification and take him to be a man? It's kind of hard, because now he's gonna have a hard time with you. Because why?
Right.
He don't have no ambitions for nothing.
Right.
So you taking a issue and trying to make it a husband, It's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of our old generation missed the ball, like my uncle said, because we was too busy out there either trying to work or we ended up getting pushed out. And because how society's set up now, our young men growing up thinking being a man is playing video games, laying the pipes,
Right.
and the woman think that that's a man too.
Yeah.
So now when I go to a gas station, I see a young lady out there pumping the gas and see two young men sitting in the car smoking cigarettes.
Right.
I'm looking like, wow, where I cannot have my wife. I will literally run late for work to make sure gas is in both of the vehicles because I don't want her to be out there by herself with the kids pumping gas. I even tell her sometimes, you got enough gas to make it home. When I get home, I put gas in the vehicle because her security is more important than anything else. So a lot of men missing that aspect of life about security. We are the security. Right. If we can't secure a home for our family,
come on.
How can you secure anything else?
Right.
Yeah.
And then for a woman to accept anything from a man, I think she needs to examine herself as well.
Oh God. Yeah. You know, today we were home and my son, he literally we have this a wood table and he carved in the table. I was furious. And so he came in and he just was, furious. We about darn near almost killed the boy, but we didn't. So, because we just got this table, but he carved in this table. He had some squares or something, and we were asking him, why would you do this? But then I saw my husband take him in the room, and my son was so scared because he doesn't raise his voice. I'm the raising voice person. I yell all day. But when he talks, it's like thunder comes through the house. Everybody start picking up and folding something. So he's talking to my son, but then I see him in the room talking to him. He said, do I do these things, son? He said, what do you see of me? And it almost brought tears to my eyes because I didn't have to step into a position that there was no reason for me to be there. I have a husband who is a good man that can talk to my son. And I, as afraid of, of what could have happened as I was, I knew that he could handle it and that my son had to submit to the authority that my husband has. So a lot of young men, they don't have that. I realize they don't have that. But I also, as a woman, had to recognize, as much as I wanted to just grab my son and hug him and be like, Daddy, ain't go. I had to step back.
That's again another form of submission.
Absolutely. And let him really father our son.
That's right.
So had I stepped in and start doing crazy stuff, then who's the man at that point? Then I'm saying, I need you to get your son. Well, I'm trying to get him, but you ain't letting me get him. Either you sit down or you do it yourself. So that too, I've realized, and this is as I continue to grow, that a woman has her place, especially if you have a man in the house. If he doesn't feel like a man, then he's not going to be there. So the word says that a man would pitch a tent on the roof than to be in the house with a heckling woman. So we have to learn, because our voice sometimes can be rap, rap, rap. They ain't listening to that.
Charlie Brown. That's what I call it. Charlie Brown.
I ain't listening to that. So, but when you're speaking with softness, and you're speaking to the man, and that's why they say the woman is the neck. She can turn the neck. I learned how to speak to him. That's why the children say, no, mommy is daddy's favorite. Go ask mommy. She can get him to do it. I don't remember the last time I pumped some gas. I'm just like, I'm bringing this car home as OE. I'm not, So it's really, really good to have a good man in the house and to feel safe and secure.
It brings me back to an incident that happened at work. And I was telling her about it one time. I said, it kind of struck me. I had to work with the juveniles. And when you work with the juveniles, it's the way they visitation. So I expect for the young men, you see a lot of fathers or uncles or grandfathers come out. Will you believe I didn't see that one uncle?
Wow.
One grandfather?
All women.
Nobody of authority to show up, but a bunch of women, not putting them down, but they was glorifying their son and the foolishness that they was in. And the son was teaching the next generation the foolishness.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm looking like, wow, they are being misled by no guidance at all.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
And the guidance they receive is going to cost them in damnation. And the next generation going to fall into the same step.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So my thing is, it's time for the uncles to stand up. It's
Right.
time for the fathers to stand up.
Right.
And it's time for the grandfathers to stand up.
Mhm.
And take back the family
Right.
and help the generation to be something better than what it is now.
Yes.
That's true.
You know, I think that when men feel like they don't have the authority to do it, because there's a way to do things, because spanking and hitting doesn't always
Right.
work for
Right.
every child.
Right.
Some of these young men, especially the ones that come in my office, they really just need a hug. Some of them, I hug them and they just cry so hard. These are grown men that are crying and letting all these things out. And the one thing I always say
Their
this,
voice still
it's the little boy, and they miss or they want their father.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't care how the father is. And women, if you're on here and if you're taking these children away from their fathers, you are in error. Unless the man is abusive and doing
Right,
something
right,
crazy. That's a
right.
whole nother
Yeah.
issue.
Right.
But I mean, these children, they don't care about money. They don't care about raggedy shoes. They don't. They just want their parents to be able to do to be able to be adults.
Right.
Right.
If you're not together, that's okay. Learn how to parent together, because it's not about you when you laid down and you had the baby.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
You gave up that right.
You gave up that right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
about
Them,
it's
yeah.
about the children. So we do have some comments on here. I think everybody's just saying that's good right there. I think they're in the learning season. Brother Kerry Johnson said that women should nourish. I hope that he can come on and clarify a little bit more with that. And Genevieve is posting some more comments here, and everybody's saying that they are really loving what you guys are saying and what we have to say here today. Is there anything else that y'all wanted to add on to that?
I wanted to add, when you were saying about the kids needing you,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that was important for me is, and it still is to this day, is to have an open door policy with my kids, because I wanted them to come and ask me the questions. However difficult those questions were, I wanted them to ask me so that I can put my stamp on the answer, as opposed to, because when they get to that school, they're going to hear their little friends talking about it.
Yeah.
So I had the hopes and the prayers of saying, well, if I talk to them first, maybe when so-and-so say something about what they doing, that my kids could say, Mama, we just had this conversation with Mama, and Mama was not, she said that wasn't a good idea.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think it's so important when you say the kids need you. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Because you're in that forming
Yeah.
of their minds and opinions and thoughts and what they see and what they're taught.
Yeah.
That's what I just truly believe that when God said for a woman and a man to come together and have a child, that everybody part plays. And as we teach our children, they grow and become adults, and then they teach their kids. Yeah. And it just goes around as a circle, and it continues to, if we're doing what God told us to do, it just continues to glorify God. Absolutely. And we just keep on having it happen over and over and over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, one thing that helps to what she's talking about, the kids, even though I spend a lot of time away working, but I will always go visit my kids' school. When they have career day, different event, I always make sure when I was in the bum squad, I would take the robot, to the school. I take the robot to the school. I will wear the 80 pound of bum suit, and I will, have all the kids come outside and place a device outside, and I will, countercharge it. Of course, blow it up. Another word for this about countercharge. Yeah, I'll blow it up, and that will get everybody's attention. But and when my kids, not my daughters, when my son would misbehave, because
not
school,
the daughters, the
not
son.
daughters, when son would misbehave in school, I will go to the school, because once the wife tell me about what's going on, I said, no, that's my place. Yeah, I will go to the school and I would chastise him
Uh-huh.
there,
Right there at the school.
At the school.
right there at school.
Right there.
You know,
And you don't have no little bitty boy. This is a
Oh,
big
no.
old giant.
No. You know,
This is a giant.
but the thing for Ray was that he learned before he got to high school. Because high school, you know, I didn't have to go that far. But when I do high school, I would drop him off, and I would stay for at least 10, 15 minutes, or however long it takes. Because I've seen kids will go to the high school, they go in, they go out the back door. And that's why we have the truancy detail.
Yeah.
So to prevent myself from being a truancy, part of that problem, I let them know, son, not only that I'm here, I can tell you how many of your friends I see that's sneaking off. And you be around, I'm around watching.
Yeah.
I'm around watching because I better not catch you to be one of them.
Yeah.
And for my daughters, what helps them to even stay on track was that all the guys in the school understood that they have a crazy father that blows things up.
Yeah, because you were on the bomb squad.
So
I'm glad I wasn't raised in this house.
And I would encourage them. This is my babies. You know, so you want to be on the good side.
I can't do it.
You be on the good side. You know, you make sure my kids happy. And don't create no problem.
That's right.
And all three of them understood that we were not tolerating, you know, while you're in high school, you know, to be impregnated, you know, all that stuff, and even my son, you know, I had to encourage them. I said, I know people are gonna do whatever they want to do, but
you can't.
You can't, right? You know, and all three of my kids, except for the boy, you know, the two daughters, I was much stricter on them by saying you couldn't date until you turn 18.
Oh, I heard about this one.
And so
but it worked.
Right, it worked. And
worked.
every time a boy will try, you know, I will make them feel very uncomfortable. You know, very uncomfortable. So to the point where, nah, man, you know, if I want to try something, let me go try with one of those other females. But I'm not gonna try with
this one.
Not with those two. And so
excuse me.
That helps. But I also tell my son, I said, look, just like I'm very protective of my daughters with guys, I don't want you to go mistreat any young lady.
Absolutely.
I don't want you to try to take advantage of any of them, because then you don't have to worry about did daddy get in your case. I will get in your case.
Absolutely.
Because that's not acceptable. That's not the way we operate.
Absolutely.
You know, so the teaching part never goes away. And so that's the one thing that helps me today. And like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm far from being perfect. But one thing that if I give you my word, it's my bond.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm gonna make it happen. You know, I'm gonna do the best that I can. When I was in the bomb squad, you know, went to Huntsville, Alabama, and the city of Miami didn't want me to become a bomb tech. They sent word to the school for them to flunk me. and while everybody else was partying, that's where this discipline come in. Everybody would go to the parties, club, and party. I would stay in the hotel room, study.
Yeah.
To make sure that out of all the tests, my lowest score was a 99.
Oh, wow.
And then by the time I graduate, the guy told me, he put a big red flag on my paper, and the whole class was in on it. And I look at him and laugh. Again, they want to see how would you react. I laugh and I say, if you give me another test with different questions, I will pass it, because I know the whole curriculum, left and right. And he laughed. He said, I like your attitude. I did that to show you that your people did not want you to pass. They sent word to us to tell us to flunk you.
Wow.
But your attitude, that's why you go back to how you raise you know, how were you raised. If you come with an attitude, feel like the world owes you something. A marriage is not one-sided. The wife don't owe you nothing. You owe the wife nothing. We owe each other everything. Right.
This goes to a question that I have here. Jennifer Roundtree, she asks, how does a wife deal with a husband that believes her voice has no influence in his life because he was taught in error she is to be silent?
Ooh.
Ooh, everybody got stank face.
That's truly a stank face.
Again, if you just tune in, you didn't tune in from the very beginning. From Jumpstart, we established ourselves as a couple. My wife told me as a child that I do not want no man to have kids.
Yeah.
Straight out. So if you go out there, you impregnate somebody, you kiss our relationship goodbye. Because I'm not going to be with a man that's fathers a child. You know. And why she say that? Because we started off, the two of us.
Yeah.
It wasn't like she was doing her thing, I was doing my thing. No, we started off as kids. So we started off as kids. I made a promise to you already. You'll be my wife and all that good stuff. Then I'm supposed to honor it. So if the man is already doing what he's doing, and you are the wife, I shared that with a young lady the other night, the other day, to be honest, at the funeral. I went to the funeral and I say, you know, the problem with a lot of relationship is that the woman doesn't really understand her power that she have over the man. Because we love women that respect us and will make us feel like we are the world. And just that alone, you can get any man to melt, to do whatever it is that you want.
Oh, I've learned that.
If you understand your power, woman, as a woman, you understand your power, there's nothing that our kids do that to us. Same thing you mentioned about your kids. Whenever Genevieve, Renata, and Raymond want something, before they even come to me, I promise you, 200%, she already know about it.
Yeah.
And they go to her and even, okay, that's my answer. Yeah. But I promise you, if I lay my head down in bed, before the night over, I'll hear about it. You know, so Jennifer, to say that regardless of what the man was taught, you have to understand that your self-worth means more. You should not lower. I tell every woman, you are a queen.
Talk to her in that camera right
I tell every woman that you are a queen. If you're a queen, you understand your power that you have. Queen Esther in the Bible, when her husband was listening to his army personnel was going to destroy the whole Jewish family, she saved her family. She saved her whole region because of the power she has as a queen. So understand that you are a queen material. Now, once you give the man all the power over you, make him think that he's all that bag of chip, then he has no respect for you.
That's true.
Yes, I understand the man's supposed to love the woman, and the woman's supposed to respect the man. But great leaders got to be great followers. So he cannot love you, respect you, if he see that you are somebody he can walk on. So you have to take a stand and say, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of nothing goes my way. Every man's not the same. And any man that uses the excuse that, oh, I'm like this because of my mom, my this and that. Look, I was raised by other men. What I mean by that, my mom didn't have a whole bunch of men. I was raised by my big brothers. I had a whole bunch of them. They are other men. All my big brothers, Peter, Johnny, Thomas, all those guys, they raised me. I watched them. You know, Reverend Justin, they raised me. And the spiritual coming to Billy Baskin raised me. So you don't have to have a physical daddy that's in the negative to follow his footsteps. Follow the positive you see in other men.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because if you look at your husband, he's the way he is because his daddy invested in me and I in turn invest in him. You know, yes, I was not always there and I regret that. But one thing I've learned was that I never stopped trying to find him. I never stopped trying to find, reach out.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, you have to get the person the room that they need
to
grow.
Yeah.
But you cannot keep using the excuse, young lady, you know, my husband's doing what he's doing because of his parents or because no. In that case, then I would have been like my dad, to be honest with you, not a provider to this household. I'll be a provider.
Yeah.
I'll be providing.
Yeah.
I'll be
This is a very deep. This is gonna go over a little bit. I think this might go over. This is pretty deep. Go ahead.
What I'm gonna say is about this topic here is that is true for some cases. Each case is different.
Right.
You know, my father was there, but he wasn't there. But that didn't mean I was gonna be what he was.
Right.
Sometimes we as an individual, as a young lady, I tell any young lady, look out how a young man treat his family. Look out how his mom treat the husband. Look at how the husband talk to the mom. Because the thing is I've been in some situations where I walk in the house and I see how the father talk to the wife, and it's like, oh my God, that's impossible.
Yeah.
But then she expect me to do the same thing to her. So like she learned the same behavior, think that it was fine, it was acceptable to receive this type of behavior.
Right.
You don't have to accept anything but good love.
Mm-hmm.
Anything beyond good love, I'll tell anybody, make your own choice, but I'll leave it alone.
That's what it comes
Because
from.
it's healthy minds, healthy hearts love long time. Because abuse mentally is just like being abused physically.
Yes, it is. Sometimes worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I treat my son well. I treat my wife beautifully.
Yes, you do.
And I tell my son all the time, treat your woman like I treat my wife. You don't see me disrespect my wife now, no time. I don't call her outside her name. You don't see me beating all across her head. If the only thing you see me do, I feed her, I clothe her, I put a roof over her head, and I pamper her.
Right.
So if you don't see the same direction in that young man, run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, these are sometimes there are men who are insecure with themselves, and there's people who actually have personality disorders. So I work in the mental health field. I have my own private practice, and I do it pretty much part-time. And what I see is that sometimes people come in with these behaviors that have been taught when they were younger, and then they develop these narcissistic personality disorders, and then they start to gaslight their wives because their wives or whoever their significant other is. There's so many signs that are given, so you have to be very, 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 very careful, because these are the people that will hit you and make you think that you hit them and make you crazy.
Yep.
So you have to be very, very careful. And I can't go too much into it because I have to be very careful with what I say and how I say it. But you got to be careful of these people. These people are gaslighters. You have them on your job. You have them in your family. And if you don't know what the word gaslighting is, you can go look that up in your own personal time. But you have to be very careful of these people, because they will pull you away from your family and anybody that loves you, because they want to mistreat you. They want to do you dirty. They want to harm you in every which way or form, because they don't have the love on the inside of them to be able to give to you. So if you know that this is happening to you, you need to figure out a way, find a safe place and get out if you can. If there's a way that you can't, there's so many women shelters and things like that. And there are men that are abused as well by some women. There are some women who can be extremely verbally and mentally abusive. So even for the men, you got to get out of those relationships, especially if you're not married. You have an escape. You can get away if you can. If you can't, definitely, if you want some more information, you can give me a call at 754-303-9976. You can also email us or email me at Taisha Carvil, MSW@gmail.com. If you need a therapist or somebody to talk to, I just wanted to plug that in really quickly. This is what I do. But to get back on that topic, that was a very, very good question, because sometimes there are some women whose voices are silenced.
Well, I would say this: not just the women, yeah, also men that voices silenced.
Yeah,
because they was raised in a home where men cannot talk, because all you hear about yeah, and they always thought that their role was to be in front of the TV and look at TV all day long.
Yeah.
One thing I can say is a union is so important. One thing I can say when I look at you two guys, for all these years, 38 years, Jesus Christ.
It's been 30.
I'm getting old. But, the thing I would say is the union that y'all have speak volume. And it also speak volume to the next generation to see this. Because you don't see this too often. Even down to you see people at y'all guys' level already broken up.
Yeah.
And they may be still married, but technically in the home they're broken up.
Right.
We walk in here anytime and we don't feel that brokenness.
Yeah.
We feel the union, and we appreciate that. And if anybody that walk in here say they don't appreciate it, they blind. Because to me, to see union to today's time is so important to our generation. Because our generation is now growing up in a broken home, broken environment, lost environment. Young men don't know that he's a young man because he don't know how to be a man because why? He was raised in a point where he was quiet. A young lady raised don't understand her role as a woman, so she been raised to yell. And now we're at the point in our life where
to control.
Right. And you're at a point in life not realizing is we have a stronger bond if we bond together. Right. They're separate.
Yeah, there are so many men out here that are trying to compete with the wives, and the wives are trying to compete with the man. Everybody has their own. Everybody has their place. Yeah. Nobody has to. If you're in love and you're truly in love, and I know sometimes people say you fall out of love, but I still always like him because you may not always love the person. You don't like some of the ways, and sometimes they get on your nerves. You go through seasons, but you never fall out of love. I would say at the same time, we don't fall out of love at the same time, but I always like him. I like the person that he is. And to those women who are struggling and the men that are struggling to find their voice, I would suggest that you seek some type of help. This show is really good, but we only have an hour, you know, and they can only share so much. Like right now, the time is running, you know, really, really short, but we have shared so much. This was really, 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 really good. And I hate that we have to even end like this, but I like to keep the time, you know, so I like to start on time and I'm gonna end on time, and then y'all can come back next week. But we want to be very careful with spreading or how we're relaying or how we are allowing our children to see us respond to one another. I had to learn that the hard way. I had to, really learn that the hard way. It was scary for me allowing him to take the lead in certain things where I was always the leader. It was very scary. But then when I got an opportunity to learn him and to learn that he really was just trying to love me, I let all my walls down and allowed it to happen. And it allowed our marriage to grow in such a way that I never would have thought that I would even be in this place that I am right now. This is why I can say certain things to him and he listens, because now he knows that I have his heart. And I don't want to mistreat him, that I want to see him grow and develop in such a way that when his voice was silenced and he wasn't able to express himself, that he can express it with me, and I don't judge him. I don't judge him. I don't care. He has this a little bit of a disability, and you may see it every now and then. And I would tell him, I said, I don't care if you talk jibber jabber. I will follow you to the ends of the earth, because there is no other man on this earth that is going to take care of me the way you do. So I don't care. Use your voice, speak and talk to these people, because they can learn so much from you. And I'm so excited for him to even, because those of you that know him, he's not like this, where he comes out and talks. People didn't know that he talked. I'm like, he had to get me like he talks, He talks to me all the time. Like, he talks too much. But everybody doesn't get a chance to see that. But I know him. I get to know him. I get to see that. I get to see all those great things, and to now see those things kind of manifest. I am so happy that he got an opportunity, or that he listened to develop this relationship with even you. Now I'm seeing why he is the way that he is. His father isn't here, but I get to see that through you. And it's such an honor and a pleasure to sit here with you guys often. Am I crying? To sit here with you guys, because we didn't have this for 15 years. You guys have been in our lives now for what? 3 years? 3 years now. And it's been great. Every time we come, we feel welcomed. We don't feel like strangers here. We feel welcome. Our children, my son was like, oh, we're going to Uncle Raymond's house. He put his stuff on. He was like, I'm getting in the pool. No, wait a minute. It's cold. It's cold. He's like, And then he's like, no, my uncle got a heater on the pool. And I'm like, you didn't tell him in advance. But it's an honor to be here and to even see your children and the way that they speak and how they are with each other. It is something to actually to follow after. So I'm so happy that you guys decided to come on the show and grace us with your presence. I want you to talk about your book really quick. We got we got 2 minutes. It's 9 o'clock, but we can do it.
Well,
talk about your book.
Literally, Shoot My Shot was designed and created with the help of Genevieve Lanice Carvil Harris. She motivated me.
Not her whole name.
Yeah. I said doctor. So she motivated me. After I retired from police club, I had so much. I have over 500 pages of material, and then she kept encouraging me to write a book. So I decided to give her all 500 pages of material, and so Shoot My Shot was comprised. She take the stuff that she wanted to use, and then at a later time we will have it. So, but if you do want to, you can go to Amazon.com and just put my name, Raymond Carvil, and I promise you, you will see the book. It's 138 pages, and it covers 10 different targets that will help you to endeavor, and then you really get to understand a little bit more about the real Raymond Carvil, because it does speak of my family, because the book was dedicated to my mom, Azealia Marie Charles Carvil. I dedicated the book to her, and my security company is dedicated to my mom and also my wife's mom. That's why I say we're a team. That's why it's E&C Security. Azealia Carey is for her mom, Charles. So it's E to the second level. So it's both of them, Azealia, then Evelyn. So that's why it's E to the second power. Okay. So I wanted to make sure that whatever I do, I include my wife into it. It's not a one-sided. She helps me to be where I am. So therefore, all the credit. When we both retire, I said we both retired. She got a brand new vehicle of her choice. I get a brand new swimming pool of my choice. Value the same amount, because that was our retirement gift to each other. So again, that's what marriage is all about. That's what Shoot My Shot is all about. Is helping somebody to understand that it's not too late.
Absolutely. For
you to achieve your full potential. And we'll be honored to come back on the show again, because again, I love the show. I've been watching it, and I want to encourage other people, that yes, let's talk marriage, because there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Aunt Henrietta, you want to leave us with something? You got something. Leave us with something. Stop being so shy.
I have enjoyed my time, and like you said, we'll be more than happy to come back on as guests anytime y'all invite us.
Yeah, they said that this should be a part 2, so we gotta make it a part 2.
All right.
Somebody said let's make this a part 2. We got to keep going.
All right.
But
there's a lot to cover.
So the time is nearing, and we want to thank you guys for coming on the show, and you guys with your comments and your questions. Thank you so very much for interacting with us. If you can't find us here, you will always find us on YouTube under Ilias and Taisha Carvil. That's on our YouTube page. And of course, here at Let's Talk Marriage on Facebook. We're on Instagram as well. And it is me_4 ever on Instagram. That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But you can
also, it's on the description at the end of the video.
Yeah, he'll edit this and do whatever he does. But definitely thank you guys so much for always coming and being a part of the show. And that's it.
Let's talk marriage.
Right.
Let's talk marriage. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Oh my goodness. This was really, 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 really good. I am so excited that you guys came. Hold on.
Oh, no. Hey, I love it. It's like
Because I'm like, I'm telling you, that's my sister.
You know,